Good morning. This is the elementary Sunday school lesson for this Sunday, March 3rd. Sunday school is at 10 o'clock in the purple classroom in the fellowship building. So the kids today are reading the story from the Shine On Bible called Healing on the Sabbath. This is Luke chapter 6 verses 1 through 11, and it's on page 216. These Bibles are, of course, in the room ready to go. And the story here is about Jesus doing things on the Sabbath, teaching in the temple and healing someone specifically on the Sabbath day, which is like you're not supposed to work, and people were calling him out on, you're breaking the rules, you're doing something, and of course his response involves a story, as always. But then he says, "Is it lawful to do good on the story it?" And so this is one of those. I think the elementary kids are at a great age to start thinking about, when is it okay to break rules? What rules are not helpful, or when you break them, you're actually helping someone as opposed to just doing it because it's a rule and you want to break it. It can be a fine line, and it can be also really a not fine line, right? In the case of, saving someone's life. So there's a couple of great activities in here. One of the ones they recommend starting with is on page 8 of the lesson. It's under Gather, Build Community. And they're recommending playing emotion charades. So having a kid get up there one at a time and act out an emotion and have the other children guess what emotion they're acting out. Happy, sad, angry, scared, excited, nervous, confused. There's a bunch of ideas that are listed here on this page. Understand the feelings of others, right? Can we pick out how someone's acting, how they're feeling? And it's just that might just be a fun exercise to do before the story or after it, either one. So the questions then that go along with this are under the Wonder and Reflect on page 9. They are such questions as, I wonder why there were rules about what you could not do on the Sabbath. I wonder why Jesus asked if rules are more important than people. What do you do on the Sabbath, which is Sunday for us, to feel close to God? For some of us, that might be coming to church, but that could be an interesting question to ask the kids. There are, as usual, some questions on the side, up here and down there. You can see if in any of those you want to talk about. Some of them are a little repetitive to the Wonder and Reflect questions, but there's a Connect one up here that says, what do you do differently on Saturday or Sunday than on other days of the week? What can you do to help others on those days? So even on our day of rest, so to speak, what can we do that's helpful to other people? So that's the story. And then there's a craft, which is under Create on page 10. And it says it's creating a compassion quilt. Through Jesus' actions in today's story, we see that Jesus valued love and compassion. So they're going to make a quilt out of paper, and I have these square sheets of paper that are in different colors, and they're basically 8.5 by 8.5, so they're all even and can be taped together nicely. Each child should take a square or two and draw on it, or design it, as they say, something that shows valuing fairness, peace, love, kindness, mercy, gentleness, inclusion, justice, fun, laughter, etc. It can be a design, it can be a picture, it can be words, it can be a poem, whatever they want to create on their quilt square that shows compassion in any of these ways. You may wish to begin by creating a group list of values to choose from, and then assigning each kid. You're going to write about mercy, you're going to write about love, or draw, or whatever. Create the quilt square around that word. And that might help to focus them and not get them off track on anything else they want to draw. So we'll have the materials for this in there as well. While they're drawing, one of the other things I think is a neat activity is under the Peace Notes. This is on page 9 as well, down here at the bottom. And it's talking about, Jesus was breaking the rule here, and they're going to read a real life example of someone breaking the rules. So there is this story, which you can read to them while they're doing the activity to kind of think it'd be best while they're focused doing something else to go through this, but you can judge the class. Viola Desmond, who was a Black businesswoman in Halifax, Canada, and she was on a business trip and went to the movies while her car was being repaired. So she brought a seat to the theater, but the Blacks in Canada could only sit in balcony seats, and the main floor was only reserved for white people. But she refused to move from her floor seat and was arrested and taken to jail. And so she opened people's eyes to that injustice. And so that is an example of someone breaking a rule, and in something that helped other people was a benefit. So share that with them. There's copies here. I've made several in case they want to take it home and read it. That's something they can do as well. Okay, so those materials and everything will be in the classroom. Let me know if you have any questions about that, or if there's anything else from the lesson that you want to do when you read through it. Okay, thank you so much.